Jordan Bianchi, The Athletic. Do you have any indication what tire wear is going to be like on Saturday? It always seems like the big story here in the last few years is long runs and managing tires and everything.
Yeah, it's hard to say just yet. I think we all kind of saw some of it last year when we put the option tire on, and I think all of us are kind of anticipating the same thing. So, you know, when we weren't handling very well yesterday, I was just kind of searching around for grip, trying to figure out if your car's not handling well, what can I do to make it better? So, but as far as tire wear and kind of what we're all projecting, I think we're gonna have a lot better idea in about an hour.
Awesome. We'll pass it up now here, Dolly.
Hi, Ryan. Holly Kane with the NASCAR Wire Service. I know you've been getting this question a lot, but as we get closer to the cutoff, what are the team meetings like at RFK? I mean, it is a very unusual circumstance that you and Chris are right there on the line and Brad still needing to win as well, but has the intensity increased or the dynamic of it changed whatsoever?
I would agree with what Chris has said last week because I actually watched his media availability, which is nobody's hiding anything from anybody, and that's the truth. You know, I was talking about the blacktop here today in turns 1 and 2. I don't think a lot of us really knew about it, and I didn't even know about it until I went out and modified practice yesterday and noticed it. So I just communicated some of the thoughts I had from that, and you know, Scott. Jeremy, Derek, they work really well together, just like all of us drivers do. So I think the environment that we have at RFK right now is a really good one. And you know, I don't hide anything from them. They don't hide anything from me, and that's what's nice about being there.
Is it kind of crazy to you that it would come down to this after all these weeks of race, everything that could happen?
Well, I think ideally we would have all liked to have either won by now and kind of locked ourselves in. But, you know, when you looked at the past, you know, however many weeks, 24, how many weeks has it been now? I lose track. I live week to week, 24 weeks. Yeah, I mean, to be right there with each other, and both of us have penalties. Not like one of us had a penalty and all that, where we've been neck and neck. And you know, I'm grateful to be a part of this opportunity or have this opportunity because it's been a lot of fun. You know, it's been a lot of fun for me as a racer who's put a lot into my career and really been able to finally put something together that is allowing me to go and contend and race again and feel like I'm racing again. I always used to have to go race my modified to feel like I'm racing because the biggest thought to me in the past was, you know, when's the leader coming to lap me, you know, and not because I didn't know how to drive, but you were fighting so many different things. And it's just nice to, you know, be on the other side of things to where you're continuing to try and find grip to race for a top 5 or race for a win or race for a top 10 or whatever it is. So, you know, there's a lot of factors as race car drivers that come into that, and I'm grateful to be on the one I'm in.
Awesome. Any additional questions? All right, over here to Bob.
Bob Pockers, Fox Sports. Do you feel like you're racing Chris for the final spot, or do you assume that there's going to be a new winner in the next 2 weeks?
Hell yeah, I'm going to race the heck out of him. I'm just messing with you, Bob. I know what you mean. Yeah. It's hard to say. I think we're at 2 racetracks, super speedway especially, Daytona. Anything can happen. We saw that last year. At Richmond, you don't know who's going to show up with the right package today for this option tire. We all have, as you guys have already heard, you know, Jordan asked it with the tire wear. How's that going to be? You know, how impactful can that play in this race? So I think there's a lot of thoughts. I think, yeah, you're going to have to win to get in, to really lock yourself in, unless you're Tyler Reddick. I think, you know, Chris and I are both trying to figure out what's the best strategy for us, you know, and you know, I know Scott and Derek are working hard on that, and you know, have really fast race cars and go execute great races. And you know, if you're in a position for a green white checkered and you have the opportunity to win, don't you know, when it comes Monday, don't think about what I should have done different.
You can do that even after what happened last year and seeing what the NASCAR rulings were.
Well, I didn't say wreck somebody, but I mean, you just, you know, I think you need to be a racer and not leaving anything on the table. At the end of the day, you got to do it with respect, but at the same time, a half a lap can change your entire season.
And I know I asked you last week, but I just want to check. Did you look at this A-post flap at all that they're putting in for next week?
I know about it, but I haven't seen it in person.
Oh, right here. Go ahead.
Ed Weaver, Sporting News. I got two for you, Ryan. We've talked a lot collectively in this community about how we have the long green flag runs here, the tire management, tire wear. And I've listened to some drivers on the radio. They're super involved. They want to communicate, hey, this is what we should be doing. Do you let Derek kind of lead that? Do you want to be a part of that process? Or how much do you want to know about the trends of what the race is doing, the fall off, all that stuff?
That's a challenge. I'm very knowledgeable when it comes to race and race cars if I see the entire picture. But my job on Sundays is to drive that race car as fast as I possibly can. Derek has all the information along with Brent, our engineer, and Matt in the war room to see how the race is playing out and understanding what the best strategy is, and that's their job. So I don't want to know. I want to focus on driving that race car as fast as I can, and also have them communicate to me what my job is in that moment. So, it's really easy to get wrapped up in the whole picture and think that you need to make those decisions. I've just learned that, if I want to make those decisions, I'm going to bring my modified to the racetrack and figure out pretty quickly why I drive a race car fast for a living. So, yeah.
Chris Powell, Couch Coach Live. Ryan, how do you feel about the momentum your team has right now heading to the final stretch?
Yeah, I feel really good about it. I'm really anxious to get out here in about, I would say 45 minutes or an hour. There's just been so many questions with this tire and really a lot of preparation. And for me, it's trying to figure out what can I do as a race car driver to make it last better than somebody else. I think that's going to be the key tomorrow night. And then let Derek and those guys work the strategy and figure out what we need to do from there. But, my goals tomorrow is to win. That's going back to Bob's question. You want to lock yourself in the playoffs, you need to win.
Hello, sir. Steven Sykes in Live and Global Media. How would you say your identity as a driver has changed from the start of the season towards now, given the grassroots from where you started from?
Yeah, I think it's been fun talking to people that have known me, for the past 15, 17 years. And, we talk about this year and how we're running. We're running really well. Even I joke with the merchandise trailer that we're selling T-shirts really well. And for me, the past 5 or however many years it was, I think I've even persuaded a few media people that, Ryan Preece can do this. Outside of putting ourselves in position to win, we've executed a pretty good season, a respectable season that, it'd be nice to make the playoffs and then really see what we can do in there. But, it's been a lot of fun. And I think, as a race car driver, that's sacrificed a lot to get to this point, to have this opportunity and do all the things that we've done and been consistent and not just having that flash of speed and kind of disappearing. It's been really nice. So, next step is trying to win these races. This has been a great opportunity, one that I can't thank, Brad enough for being a great teammate, a great owner, and somebody that I can really rely on throughout a race weekend, along with Chris. I've been good friends with him, great teammates with him, and it's been really great to be a part of this opportunity. And couldn't do it without great sponsors like Kroger, Mohawk Northeast, Fifth Third Bank. And the list really goes on, Fastenal, many others. So just, I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. Hopefully we can cap off tomorrow with a win and don't have to worry about the playoffs.
Second question, do you feel that the communication between your spotter, crew chief, your engineers has evolved, and that's what's leading towards the success that you have right now?
Yeah, it started off really well, and it's only gotten better. It's been a lot of fun to be a part of, and honestly, our trailer is just... It's something like I've never been a part of in my life. So it's been great. And, I think, for having a spotter that's never spotted in the Cup Series before as well as you know, a bunch of people on our team that really this is their first year in Cup. It's been a great group.
My Place Hotels is proud to be the official hotel partner of Front Stretch. With plush beds, in-room kitchens, and pet-friendly hotels, My Place makes for the perfect pit stop when traveling. Front Stretch fans can use promo code FRONTSTRETCH to save 10% on your stay at any of our nationwide properties. Sign up for our Stay Rewarded program to get even more savings. With My Place Hotels, don't just stay, stay rewarded.
Steven Stump of FrontStretch.com here. Come back for more great racing videos, and if you like us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.